All right, Brock, welcome to your video lesson. In this lesson, we're going to start by talking about your strengths as a hitter, and we're going to do that by comparing you to Derek Jeter. And I picked Derek Jeter as your professional comparison for a couple of reasons. Number one, you guys' stances are very similar, as you can see right here. And number two, as I play these videos, one of the things you're going to notice is that both of you guys are very similar in terms of how you stride towards the pitch. Okay, and so what I want to do right now is just play both swings simultaneously. And you're going to notice that both you and Derek Jeter do a little bit of a rock back on your back leg right there before you stride. And your hands get to a similar spot before you swing. So I figured that would be a great comparison for you. So with that in mind, the next thing I want to do is I want to talk about some things that you do well as a hitter. And it really starts with your stance. I mean, you do a phenomenal job getting to a nice balanced position with your stance. And it starts here with the feet. And one of the things that I like about your feet is that they're shoulder width or wider than your shoulders. If you look at Derek Jeter, for example, you can see how far his feet are, and you can look at the distance in his shoulders. So his feet are wider than his shoulders. And you do the exact same thing here with your feet and shoulders. And the next thing that I like is the balance in terms of the position of your head. You look at all great pro hitters, and they want to be balanced in their stance. And you'll see the eyes are slightly in front of the belly button. And the reason you'll see this is because if they were to turn their head and look at us, their head would be right in the middle of their body. And that's what balance is all about. Having your head in the center of your body at all times. You can see the same thing here is true with you. So great balance at your stance. All right. The other thing that I like is where your hands are at. They're almost identical to where Jeter's are at. And that's by the back shoulder, slightly above the back shoulder. That's a great position for your hands to be in because it's very efficient and very easy to get the bat at the top of the hitting zone. Now, the next thing that I like, what you do, is something that I call a negative and positive move. And I'm going to explain what that means here with Derek Jeter first, and then I'll demonstrate it with you. Now, let's start with the negative move. The negative move, the purpose of that is simply to create some potential energy before you actually stride. And so you see here I drew a blue dot around Derek Jeter's belly button. And one of the things you're going to see is before he takes his stride forward, he kind of rocks back a little bit, as you can see right there. And when he does that, you can see that his belly button goes backwards. And when he's doing this, he's also staying balanced. Again, the eyes stay slightly in front of the belly button. The knees stay inside the feet. There's good bend in the knees. And the hands stay back. And if we take a look at you on the left-hand side, you're going to see the same thing. Right before you go to stride, you can see that rock back. It's almost identical to Derek Jeter's. Almost like you cloned yourself after him. So that's the negative move. And the hands are in a great position there as well. The next thing you're going to notice is the positive move. And the positive move is where the hitter actually strides towards the pitcher and keeps the hands loaded or loads the hands. And so you're going to see here Derek Jeter's going to take his stride forward and get his foot down. And I call this a positive move because you can see now the belly button's gone forward and he's moved towards the pitcher. Notice the eye stays slightly in front of the belly button. Great balance in the lower half, good knee bend, and the hands stay back. And if you look at you on the left-hand side, and watch your positive move here. There's your stride. Foot gets down right there. And you can see that belly button's gone forward with the stride. And the eye stays slightly in front of the belly button. And you're in a really good balanced position in terms of the width of your feet and where your head is at and where your hands are at. You're almost identical to Derek Jeter there in so many different ways. So that's fantastic, all right? So a lot of good strengths. And the next thing that I like that you do is the actual swing. You do a great job rotating your hips. And I'm going to show you what that looks like with Derek Jeter here. You're going to see him rotate the hips to get the hands through. And there it is at the point of contact. And if we look over here on the left-hand side, very similar in terms of what you look like at the point of contact as well. So you do a lot of things nice. Very impressed with what you have going on. And there's some things we can do to build off of that. And that's what we'll talk about in the next video.